Have you ever looked at a flight map and wondered, wait, why is the plane going in the opposite direction before turning towards its destination? Well, you're not alone. Some flight routes in India look really strange, curving, looping, or even going hundreds of kilometers out of the way. But there's always a reason. It could be politics, safety, geography, or even a religious tradition. In today's video, let's explore some of the weirdest flight paths in India and why they exist. Let's start with a classic example. If you flew from Kolkata to Agartala a few years ago, your plane would take a big curve instead of flying straight, even though the cities are only around 330 kilometers apart. Why? Because Bangladesh lies right between the two cities and India didn't have permission to fly over that airspace freely. So flights had to go around Bangladesh, sometimes adding over an hour to a short journey. Thankfully, in 2017, India and Bangladesh signed an agreement that allowed Indian flights to pass through Bangladeshi skies, saving time, fuel, and money. This shows how diplomatic relationships between countries can affect even the route of your flight. Srinagar to Sharjah, a flight blocked by Pakistan. In 2021, India launched a new international flight from Srinagar to Sharjah, which was a big deal for people in Kashmir who wanted to fly directly to the UAE. But just a few days later, Pakistan denied permissions for the flight to use its airspace. Because of that, the plane had to take a much longer route down south over Gujarat and then back up towards the UAE. This added about 40 extra minutes and made the flight more expensive to operate. It also showed how geopolitical tensions between countries can directly affect ordinary passengers. The Bay of Bengal, no signal zone. Did you know there was once a huge part of the Bay of Bengal where air traffic controllers couldn't track airplanes in real time? Until 2018, a large area over the sea had no radar coverage, so flights between India and Southeast Asia, like Singapore or Malaysia, had to follow longer, preset paths for safety. After India and Myanmar upgraded their radar and tracking systems, that dead zone became much smaller. Flights can now fly shorter and safer routes across the Bay of Bengal. Flights stop for a temple festival in Kerala. Yes, you heard that right. Flights actually stopped at an international airport in India because of a religious festival. At Thiruvananthapuram Airport in Kerala, there's a centuries-old tradition. During the Alpasi and Pankuni festivals, the temple procession crosses right over the runway. So, for a few hours, no flights are allowed to land or take off. The airport literally shuts down as the temple's holy idols are carried in a huge procession with elephants and priests. This is one of the only places in the world where a runway becomes part of a spiritual route. Let's go to Himalayas. Thousands of people visit Kedarnath temple every year and many of them take a helicopter to reach the high altitude shrine. But here's the twist. There is no radar, no ATC, and very limited visibility in the mountains. Helicopters rely on pilot experience and visual flying, meaning they actually look out of the window and talk to other pilots over the radio to avoid crashes. After a few fatal accidents, the government finally put limits on how many can fly per hour. So next time you're on a flight and the map shows your plane doing a weird turn or going way off course, remember, there's probably a fascinating story behind it. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more aviation stories made simple. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep your seatbelt fastened and your curiosity flying high.